Good afternoon, everyone, in the land of awesomeness, in the land of live streaming, Facebook and YouTube. Mwah. Happy Saturday. Listen, I hope that everyone is doing super duper fantabulous. I am Deshawn Antoinette Booker, and you know what? I'm your maximizing coach. If you didn't already know, now you know. I want to welcome you to another episode of the Legacy Project. Now, I am so authentic. I am so transparent. So let me tell you what's happening. My opening video decided to take a break today. You know technology, right? It will work when it wants. It will not work because it decided to take the day off. I have been truly since last night trying to figure this thing out about our opening video. And in that opening video, it really truly gives the essence of what the Legacy Project is. So, you know, your girl got you. So, let me explain to you what the Legacy Project is. So, my brothers and I, Jamar and Jermaine, who you're going to meet in just a moment, we unfortunately, along with our family, our dad and our family, lost my mom in 2015. And so, it was placed upon our heart to not just do a show, to not just talk about what happened, but to have a platform where we can truly be authentic, we can truly share in our own space and time how that has changed our lives and how we wanted to continue her legacy. So it is the Legacy Project, J.C. Ferg, Joyce Carol Ferguson. Everyone has a wonderful mother. Everyone has a phenomenal mother. And we also had a phenomenal, loving, spectacular, one of a kind mother. And we wanted to continue her legacy. We wanted to have a place, a platform of healing, of reintroducing who you are once you lose your loved one. Because, honey, it is nothing like understanding who you are and what's your identity once you've lost your mother. And so in this platform, we have come together, my brothers and I, who have been my stronghold, who have been my powerful, empowering co-anchors in this. We've decided that we wanted to just share our stories, share our vibrations, share our energy, and hopefully we're touching a life, one day, one episode at a time. Our mother had beautiful thoughts and energies, and her vibrations within herself were powerful. An educator, an inspirator, a motivator, a wife, a mother, a grandmother, an aunt, a best friend. My mother was all things that God called her to be while she was on this earth. We can't let that legacy just slip by the wayside, right? And neither can you. We want to join with you as we continue to uphold and honor those that we have lost along the journey that we call life, right? So thank you for allowing us into your homes, into your spaces. If you're in your car, please pull over and allow us this one time, this hour, to just deposit into your soul, into your spirit, wherever you are, however you are vibing on this Saturday. We thank you. Listen, my brother Jermaine is going to tell you how to get down in this segment because he has a little flow that he says how he wants you to come on board. So we're going to let that happen with him. But I just want to say, as a coach, and I've been coaching for over 20 years, and I have a company called Maximizing Your Magnificence, and I work with powerhouse women and allowing them to do three things. I want women to be intentional about their lives, to live and work from a place of integrity so that they can manifest increase in every aspect of their lives and show up in being the best version of themselves. I want all of us to live in what we desire, what we call lux and lavish. Why not? Why not you, right? Why not me? Why not us? So that is what I do in Maximizing Your Magnificence. And so the Legacy Project is only an extension of that. So I'm going to get right into it because today is a phenomenal show. We'll talk about that when I bring my brothers on. We have guests. We are so super duper excited about our guests today. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about my brother, Jermaine Ferguson. As you know, Jay Ferg, I always give a fun, exciting, anecdote or story about my brothers as I bring them into the stage, into the studio. And if you've been listening to us, Jermaine, Mr. J. Ferg, has always known he was living in lux and lavish, even when he didn't have the money to live in lux and lavish. He just is that guy. It's in his DNA. So I've been giving you stories of how he has shown up, right, and made things happen just like that. Even if it was at the expense of my mom and dad's pocketbook, right? Jermaine didn't care. Now, listen, I went away to college. I'm at Howard University. Jermaine knows my friends, right? He's my little brother, so he knows who they are. Jermaine and I, by the way, are 6 years apart, okay? And so Jermaine was a senior in high school, football player, well known. We've talked about that, right? He decides for homecoming, his homecoming, that he needed to have a car that was going to shine like he shined, right? That was going to do the thing. Can you believe my brother Jermaine, when he comes on, he's going to confirm this story. And by the way, my brothers never know the stories that I'm going to share until they hear it right in this moment in real time. Jermaine called my friend Linnell. I know nothing about this. I'm away at college. I don't know how he got her number. I don't know any of this, right? All I know is Jermaine is riding in her drop top car, okay, in the parade that they do for the homecoming. Because that's just what he does. That's just who he is. So without any further ado, let's bring into the studio Mr. J. Ferg.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Thank you for join the show. Sit back, relax, go get your popcorn, your chips, your water, wine, beer. The hell with it. Go get a shot. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Don't get a shot. Don't get a shot.
Now, that's a true story. It's my senior year. It's homecoming, so you want to go out with a blast. And I can't remember how I got Linnell's number, but I just knew I had to have that car. It was a convertible 5.0. It was one of the hottest cars in the city. And she came through with it. And she actually stayed for the whole game.
Did she?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Jermaine, you found a way, resourceful, tapped into her information. Listen, they need to know there's no social media then, right, Jermaine?
No.
There was no.
It was straight phone call.
Right, phone call. And so, were you on the court? Were you the king or
no,
something?
No, I wasn't on the court. My friend that was going to use the car was on the court.
Okay.
And so he didn't have, a nice looking car. So I was like, man, Linnell got a nice convertible 5.0. Because when you're in the homecoming court, everybody has to see. It has to be a convertible.
Right.
Yeah, it was nice. She came through. She was there early and stayed to the end of the game. And we whooped St. Monica 50-something-0.
Oh my goodness!
And I had three touchdowns.
All right, there we go, Jay Ferg. That's what I'm talking about. That's who you are. That's how you get down.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that story though.
I got stories, Jermaine. I can't wait till you guys hear the stories. Right, I'm writing them down every time they come to me. Like, oh my goodness, you have been resourceful. Jay Ferg is resourceful. He's like, there's no limits, right, to what you can do. No. And so I just wanted to let them know that you said, if this is what we need, I got a way, and it's going to happen. Right, so, Jermaine has always been that person, and I love it. So, welcome, brother. So glad to have you. So glad to have you in this space today. Listen, Jamar is our young little big brother. Jamar and I are 18 years apart. Okay, wow, right? So, here's my story to introduce Jamar. When Jamar was young, I have so many. I didn't want to use all of them today, but I'm gonna slip in two. Jamar used to have this. His first job was in the South Bay Galleria. I cannot remember the name of the store, Jamar. I'm sure you know.
It was some urban.
Was that what was it, Jamar?
It was some urban.
Urban something.
Urban store, yeah.
And so it was his first little job, right? At clothing stores, really them hip hop stores. So mom and I go in. We're super duper excited. We can't hold it back. We're very animated. We come in and we look in and we're trying to act like we're real customers, okay? So that Jamar can come and help us, and so that his boss or bosses can see what a good job he's doing, what a great guy he is, right? So me and mom are acting and singing. Oh, what a nice store. Hello there, sir. Sir, excuse me. Can you help us? We're doing the whole thing. Jamar is laughing like, hey, hey mom, no, I'm not your mom, girl, this not Jashawn, we're customers. So Jamar's trying to, okay, you guys, all right, they know who you guys are, right? You're doing way overboard, right? So we were just way overboard, and mom is smiling from ear to ear. She's so excited about Jamar, his first job. And I'm like, you're doing good, brother. Go get him, brother. Of course, I make him give me a tour. What's over here? What do you do? He's just smiling and grinning, but I know he was embarrassed. But we were just so proud of our Bunky boy, right? Also, Jamar, do you remember when I asked Jamar what did he want to be when he grow up and what did he want to do? Jamar said to me so innocently, I don't know. I just want to go to work where I have to carry a briefcase. So we're going to ask Jamar, has he landed that job where he just carries a briefcase? Because that's what he said he wanted to do. Bring into the studio right now is our little brother, our little big brother, Jamar. Hi, brother.
Hey. What up, everybody? Good to see everybody again. We was on hiatus last month. We missed you guys.
Got some
But
birthdays.
we're back. Yeah, we're back in full action. And yes, Deshaun, I remember that story when you and mom came into the store. It was actually called Up Against the Wall. That story, yeah. But we had their competition. We had like a little urban. It was like a hip hop urban store. I forget the name of that store. But yeah, I remember y'all coming in, and I saw y'all coming in when I was standing somewhere at the front of the store, and I think I told a couple coworkers, "Oh, that's my mom, my sister,"
right.
And y'all came in acting like y'all didn't know nothing. You didn't know me, and they already knew. So yeah. Oh man, I remember that. And
that
then
was so funny.
Yes. And then, oh yeah, as a kid, you were like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. But it was something in my brain that was like, I wanted to work in an office, carry a briefcase, and work in a cubicle. Nowadays, these cubicles, they're stressful. Don't nobody want to work in no cubicle. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
But yeah, that was funny. I remember that because we was driving down Rosecrans. You know where all those buildings are. And I believe that's when you asked me. And I was like, I don't know. I want to work in an office, carry a briefcase, and work in a cubicle.
Yeah, you were so serious. And I was like, oh, Jamar, you're so cute.
Probably something I saw on
TV. Yeah. Say it again.
Probably something I saw on TV.
Yeah, I've always been that girl, right? That's like, okay, what do we want to do in our lives? Where are we moving towards? Let me just plug in for a minute. So I remember you was like, I just want to carry a briefcase, and I thought that was so adorable. Like,
because daddy carried a briefcase every day, so I wanted to carry a briefcase too.
Oh, now I'm gonna cry. We're just now getting into the show. Okay, I love that. I love that.
Daddy briefcase didn't have no handle though. He just held.
Yeah, that handle was kind of broken.
I'm talking about my daddy and his briefcase. Oh my goodness. So listen, brothers, we are back and we are so excited. As we come together, my brothers and I, we're always brainstorming how can we up level, right? And what are we doing to really allow this space to be exactly what we know the intentions were, the vision. And so Jermaine wanted to show our next show to have guests that are actually going to share how our mom inspired them in some type of way. And so this show is exciting for us because it's our first show, not our last, that we're bringing on 3 dynamic people who are very dear to our hearts, and they're going to share their stories. We don't know all of their stories that they're going to say because, as you know, our show is it's authentic. We have boundaries now, but it's authentic, and we really just create that space for being transparent and vulnerable so that we're empowering ourselves and others, right, brothers? Will we say that? Is that true?
Right. Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah. So we don't really know, where they're going to go with their stories. But we always encourage, open, healthy communication, because communication for me is healthy relationships. And so this topic is our mom's inspiration to others. Today's topic is our mom, Joyce Ferguson's, her inspiration to others. And there were so many people. Some people couldn't make it. Some people were not really emotionally ready to come, and share that story with us. And we're going to see if we can get them at a later date, because losing a loved one, as we all know, if you have, it's a journey, and we understand that, and we have, that compassion for all of those, that she's touched their lives in some way. And so The first thing before we bring on our dynamic guest is I just always want to tap into the backdrop of our topic, right? So our mom's inspiration to others, her teaching career. Mom taught for over 30 years. I think it was 35. I always get her and dad's mixed up. I think dad's was 37 and mom was 35. Do you guys remember?
Yes, 37 and 35.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me write that down because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know it's up there in the numbers, but okay.
Yeah, dad teaching career lasted 37 years with Long Beach School, Long Beach Unified School District in Long Beach, and then mom was in Inglewood, and hers was 35. And so throughout those 35 years as a teacher, of course, she inspired so many people, right? But my brother Jamar and I, after our mom passed, we got this message in Facebook, right, Jamar?
Yeah, Facebook
and
message.
We didn't know that we both got it. We got it separately, and it was maybe sometime after mom had passed, and it was one of her students. And so I just want to share what he said to me, if I can recall, and Jamar can jump in on this as well. The young man didn't know how to get in contact with us, but he did some type of way. And he sent a beautiful message. It was such a long, beautiful message that he wrote on how our mom had inspired him during his time in elementary school. Am I right, Jamar? Elementary.
Yeah, at Warren Lane.
At Warren Lane in Inglewood. And he just really, he didn't know she had passed, and he heard of it, and he wanted to send his condolences. But he also wanted to share how my mom took time. It appeared that he was one of the students that were or could have been left behind, labeled at risk, labeled one of the student, who was the troubled makers, and just didn't really know how to find his footing. And he said in his write-up, message to my brother and I, that my mother took the time weekly to tutor him and to mentor him after school. And it was those seeds that she was planting in him, that she believed in him, that he went on to high school, did great in high school. His self-esteem and his self-confidence really began to grow because of the time our mom took as a teacher, Mrs. Ferguson, to say, I got you, son. I'm not going to let you fall through. I'm not going to let what they're saying and the labels they placed on you be your identity. He said this. And he said she would sit there with him until he understood the work, till he got the problems that he needed to get problems out of the way, whether they were social in his life, his academic. She was there. She was there. And he had said that he was now thriving in his career. I don't remember what it was, but he did say it to us in the message, that he had just changed his world around because of our mom, Mrs. Ferguson, the teacher, the educator, right? And it was so beautiful. We all have teachers like that. I hope we do. But I wanted to honor our mom. And there's so many, students out there who she's touched their lives. But when we got that, I was like, wow. Of course, it was touching because it came at a time after we had,
it came
and everything. Go ahead, Jamar.
Oh yeah, no, I saw the message months after mom had passed, and I felt bad that I was just now seeing it, because it came into a part where not your normal messages. It was like, people who don't follow them. It was like, like a secret message box. And so I felt bad for, just seeing it. And yeah, he had great things to say about mom and his time in her classroom. He said that, she took her time to show me the ropes. There are some really amazing teachers out there. Then there are some that are really bad, and they just, they're short tempered. They don't have the time. But he was just saying, Mrs. Ferguson was very, very patient with me, and she made me feel like he said it was just like a easy learning experience, even though he was struggling. But I do remember that from his message. He was saying that she just supported him, and she made it an easy way of learning instead of like a hard way of learning. So shout out to him. I can't think of his name. I can go on Facebook and get his name, but he gave some positive feedback on everything, and he was so distraught to hear that Miss Ferguson passed away.
Yes, he was. Yeah. He was. And it was so uplifting. And the legacy that we're talking about is Mom touched, of course, several lives, but let's just talk about his life. That seed she planted in him. Now, what is he doing in the world, right? How many lives is he now available to touch?
Right.
Because
Right.
his self-esteem, was uplifted, and his confidence was uplifted, and he overcame his barriers, and he said, no more obstacles, I can do it. So now the lives he's touched, and then those lives that he's touched are touching lives. That's what legacy is. So that's what we're talking about here today. How does your light shine back beyond just you? How did mom touch her family and friends? Jamar, Jermaine, you want to touch on that quickly before we jump into our guests with our questions?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, one of mom's ways of inspiring her inspiration to friends, family, and even strangers, mom was always supportive of whatever you wanted to do. So like, she'll go to a talent show and she'll be the main one standing, screaming, shouting your name at the baseball, football games with the biggest sign to have your name just plastered all over it. Even if you're not even on the field, she always showed that support. I remember one particular story being at the Taste of Soul on Crenshaw, and you know how they have like different stages. And there was this one stage, this guy was DJing, but he was like just now setting up, and he had a few people right there, but they weren't moving. Mom was right there dancing, showing him support and inspiring him, making him feel like, he's doing a good job at what he's doing. And so I remember I even have video of mom doing it. I wish I could show you now. But just the support that she gave to people, it inspired you to be better and be greater, and even like, continue doing what you're doing, because she was the loudest. She, made the biggest sign, and, even if the music was bad, she was still dancing just to make you feel good. Yeah, she'll still groove to it. So yeah, that's one of my stories.
I love that story. Awesome. Jermaine, do you want to share anything?
To me, one of my mom's good kindness was how she spreaded love to everyone, even to your peers, to her colleagues. And she was willing to help others. If anybody was in trouble, she'd be like, James, let's get in the car. We got to go here. We got to go there. And she always spread love, and her act of kindness was very special, and it dwindled on us. And it dwindled on others. And that's all she did. Another thing is, she never forgot nobody's birthday.
Oh no.
She would always text, then she would text you so you can text that person happy birthday. She knew everybody's birthday.
Yeah.
And when it was time to celebrate the birthday, we celebrated. We went to the ranch. We went to the ranch. And she would text during the week, Jermaine, what you cooking? What we cooking? What's on the menu? Jamal was in charge of the wine. Trying to bring her dish, which is the baked beans and the macaroni and cheese. We just have a good time from sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
And she we had to take pictures. Always had to take pictures. So she spread a lot of love.
Jermaine, I was thinking about that. I really was thinking about. Now hold on. No, okay, Bison, my dog. See, you got to stay still because you can't be messing up the. Okay.
Shout out one thing. Shout out to the audience. I love your comments.
Oh, do you want us to hear them now, Jermaine? Do you want to read some of them?
From cousin Mumu, greetings family. She love us. Candace is in the building today. Dr. Christine Lewis said our mom was amazing, and Miss Piper said love it. Love the show.
Thank you, beautiful people. Listen, stay tuned. We have guests. We're getting to our guests. I just want to say that I was thinking about that too, Jermaine, the birthdays. So I'm glad you shared that. And Jermaine is right. And now we do that. So now if someone's birthday, we say, now make sure it's so-and-so's birthday. We send a little text out, it's so-and-so's birthday today, so-and-so's birthday, I think even one of our guests today, I sent her, right, cousin? I sent her a text. It's Aunt Daisy's, that's just the family that we come from, And so we all do that. Make sure you say so-and-so, it's their birthday. And mom was really big about that. I love it. I want to just talk a little bit about her. Just jump in. We can jump right out because I'm so excited about our guests and their stories. Mom's resiliency. Now, I want to share this because I think I've shared it before, but not on this platform. Mm-hmm. Resiliency is how you bounce back, right? Your ability to come back from a downfall, a breakdown, a challenging time in your life, a difficulty. And I'm going to say this. I don't think my brothers have ever heard me speak to this. I realized that mom had such resiliency because I'm still here. Mom had me at 16 years old. 16.
Mm-hmm.
In a time where it wasn't acceptable, at a time where you don't have children and you're not married. Mom had me at 16. There's no shame there. The resiliency is mom went to high school, graduated, went to Southwest College, graduated, went to Cal State University Dominguez, graduated, got her teaching credential, taught for 35 years. She did not let what society said. She did not let what the rules of society try to impress upon her shame or guilt for young girls, even today, young girls who are not married or just single. They could be 20, 25. But when you are a teenager and you're with child, the stipulations around that, the judgment around that, the religious judgment. And mom, family, grandmother, grandfather, sisters came together and supported her, and she did not say no to having me. That is resiliency.
That sure
And
is.
I'm always talking about that on other platforms. And I said, oh, that's the first time I've seen it, is that mom said, no, I'm going to have this child and still go after my dreams and still do what I desire in my heart. If that's not resiliency and the ability to bounce back, I don't know what is. So mom has demonstrated that all her life, but I know for me, thank you, mom, right, Jermaine, that was resiliency for me, that she didn't say no. She didn't care what society said. She was still going to have this little girl today who I am today, right? And still, and then, say, I'm going to go forward and marry and have a successful life and be the woman that God called her to be. That's resiliency. So don't let anything stop you, everyone, right? No matter what society says, no matter what it looks like, judgment, haters, move on in God's purpose for you, right?
You need your haters to make you better.
That's right. That's right.
Also, am I correct on this? Didn't Daddy pay for Mama college to get through college?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think Dad paid for Mama when she went to Cal State Dominguez. Paid her way through college.
Okay, I need to ask.
Right.
I don't know. But now I wouldn't put it
sound
past
like
him.
Dad. Right.
Yeah.
It sounds
I
like Dad.
Put that past him. Right. Right.
I'm almost 100% correct. He did that.
All righty. Listen, that's why we know how to give, and we seen it. We grew up with that, right? We know what that looks like. So
he probably said he probably told her you gotta pay me back.
Pay her back.
Absolutely. Daddy said that. So we're going to move into, we just wanted to give that opening, but we're going to move into what our questions are. One of our questions that my brothers and I asked each other is, what were some of mom's kindness, her acts of kindness? And you've heard us talk about that, right? Giving, her clothes. She would donate, clothes to her sister-in-laws, to her family members. She would, as Jamar and Jermaine said, get up and go and support whomever, She was really just a kind person in that. And so I want to bring I'm so excited, I'm stumbling. I want to bring into the studio our first guest. Now, I've been knowing this young lady, I'm not going to cry, since I was in 8th grade. That's a long time, right? I don't know how so long, because I'm still just, fresh out of high school, right? But I've been knowing her since.
You about to go to your 30th reunion.
I'm going to my 30th reunion, right? Cut it out, right? I've been knowing her that long, and our families have merged. My brothers know her family. My brother Jermaine's children have gone to her mother's school, right? So we are totally family. And we wanted her to come on today to share how has our mom, inspired her, shed some light into her life. And then also she's going to talk about her mom as well. We're going to get her in the studio and have that conversation. But without any further ado, listen, my girl is in Texas working. She's like, I got you all. I'm there. So listen, if her phone kind of goes in and out, we're giving her some love, right? We're giving her all what she needs, because she's like, I got you no matter where I am. Let's bring into the studio Miss Joyce Lynn McClellan.
Hey, Joyce Lynn.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Miss
Joyce? How you doing, girl?
I am good.
Are you driving?
Somebody else is driving. No, I'm not.
Good.
Somebody else is driving. Yeah.
Good.
So yeah. So, but I am in Seattle. I'm not in Texas.
I keep saying, yeah, you're in. That's where her people from. Okay, you're in
I'm in
Seattle.
Seattle. Just work. Yes. Yeah. Just working a little bit. The work is over, so I'm just visiting
Okay.
a little bit before I get back on the plane tonight. But happy
Oh.
to add in whatever I can.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
So Joycelyn, listen, we're so happy to have you today. Today, as you know, we're talking about how our mom has been inspirational to others and how has her light shine in the life of others, from their perspective. And so we just wanted you to come on and share that moment, what's that been like for you? And now we're listening to you. It's all for you, Joyce. We're listening.
So I am sharing first how your mom inspired me. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let me just say this much. Every time I went over you all's house, I always felt like I was at home.
you. Right.
Joyce never made me feel like, I think because I'm Joycelyn and she's Joyce, she was Joyce, we had this connection. So
Uh-huh.
as you guys know, y'all started calling me Joycey. So with that being said, I just always loved coming over your home. You know, you can have friends and sometimes you don't want to go over their house because their parents don't make you feel comfortable. That's not the way it was. You all always made me feel comfortable. We had always so much fun. As we became adults, she treated us as adults. But at the same time, the respect and the love and just the comfort level of just your home and how warm it was all the time was just great. There was no, I used to run into your mom at the grocery store, as you know, Deshaun, and whenever we ran into each other, it was always just wonderful, to see Joyce and how she is doing and things like that. And, in terms of the overflow of our family and the daycare center and all that other stuff, you all became family.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Jermaine's children went to Ruby's daycare.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I
Um,
went there too.
Jamar went to
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Ruby's
I went
daycare,
there. Yeah.
right?
It
Um,
started. It started out at her house, and then she built the empire to where it was real nice. The one on Western. Yeah,
yes,
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Yes.
that
yes.
was the empire. Yes.
Right.
Uh-huh. And I
Yes.
remember those moments like it was yesterday. Even though I was like, 4 years old, 6 years old, I remember everything.
Right.
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah.
yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Yeah. Ruby was amazing. She was amazing.
So I want Joyce to speak to that too. As mom made you feel as comfortable, in our home and our part of our family and inspired you and that and understanding family and what that was for all of us, not just being friends. Joyce also has another connection with us is that she unfortunately we lost Ruby a year before we lost mom. And so I wanted her to share in this platform, Joycelyn, how have you been able and to continue your mom's legacy and anything you want to share about Miss Ruby, we want you to have that space to speak to that.
Well, well, my mom, she was just, she inspired. It was interesting you expressed, in terms of when your mom had you and how she pressed forward and completed so many tasks and goals. And, for me, in regards to seeing my mom, she didn't go to college, but one thing she did is that she pushed her three children to go to college. She felt like not going to college was a very big fat mistake for herself, and she didn't want us to make the same mistake. So going to college and getting a degree was a big inspiration that she felt like when we finished, she finished because she did, and she pushed us to do something that she didn't do.
Right.
But at the same time, she accomplished a lot of goals. That people probably maybe would have thought that she had an MBA or something, but that wasn't the case. She definitely had a business mind, but at the same
Mhm.
time, she just always just, put herself in a position to just do more, have more, and just being a hard worker. And I think I get that from my mom just in regards to just working hard. I do believe, much is given, much is required. So, you want things, you got to work hard for it. And, you just have to live because we only get one life.
Right.
So that was definitely her motto in terms of just trying to enjoy life and working hard.
How have you continued Miss Ruby's legacy? In what ways? What do you listen? I'm gonna be funny now. Joycelyn are you still doing that baking? You was trying to bake now. I know are you still baking for the holidays in honor of Ruby? How did that go, Joycelyn?
Well, let me just say this much. So I definitely do not bake as much as my mom baked. Definitely not. My sister definitely tries a little bit more than I do. But at the same time, I would have to say that cooking, and just how she just was so comfortable in the kitchen and just loved to cook and loved to share, her love through food and whether it was, a big meal of spaghetti or whether it was a cake. Um, I definitely, I didn't get that part of her, or should I say, it didn't come easy for me. But at the same time, I do know that that's how she shared her love with others. Me and my sister, we do get in the kitchen sometime and take some of her recipes, especially through the holidays. The running joke with David is that he needs for Ruby to work through us as we get in the kitchen. That's what he always says.
Well, you know what? That's those are some big shoes to fill. Miss
Right.
Ruby just knew what she was doing, just every way. I miss
Yeah.
Ruby's uh insight, her wisdom. I say that all the time. Joyce knows it. I say it all the time. I just, I want to call her and say, okay, now I'll go over and she say, and she was stern. She was stern, but Ruby had a way of saying, now listen, now wait a minute. She'll check you if you needed to be checked, and then she'll give you a little bit of love. Then she'll check you again. Then she going about her way, and she expects you to do exactly what she gave you. And I miss that. I miss that. Ruby was the woman, and I say woman, not just human being, the woman that would come in and change whatever needed to be changed. If there was a problem, Ruby was going to solve it. You couldn't do all that back and forth, and not doing it right with her. And so a lot of times I'm talking to Joyce, and I always say, man, if your mother was here, they wouldn't be acting this way, right, Joyce? And I say, if she was here, they wouldn't be doing this.
Yes.
And so I tell Joycelyn to step in and do it.
Yes.
I say, Joycelyn, you Miss Ruby, you step in and you do it, right? And so I'm trying to hand her that baton. She keeps saying, oh, I'm not sure about that, So anything else you want to share, Joycelyn? Anything else you want to share about your mom and her legacy or her love or her memories?
Well, one of the biggest things I thought about it when you asked me those questions the other day is that, my mom just always gave people chances and opportunities to be their best self, keeping their kids and believing in them in terms of the service that she provided them. That's what she believed in, giving a person an opportunity and making sure their kids are good while they have to go to work and things that they're doing.
Yeah, that is true. That is her. Well, listen, do you all have anything you want to ask of Miss Joyce C. Jermaine or Jamar, or anything you want to add before we let her get back to her touring?
Okay, out there.
Oh, how's my little man?
Jackson is great. Jackson's in high school. He's in the ninth grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He is good. He is
You
good.
did not tell
Yes,
Jermaine, and he's
and
on. He's on what? He's a football.
Oh, he's on the football team. Oh, yeah, he's on the football team. Yeah. He got a little injury. But he's gonna bounce back. He'll be back next week for the remaining season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Tell him I said hi.
Yeah, all is good. I will for sure.
So good to see you, Joycelyn.
You too. Both of you all. We have to get together and meet at Daddy's house one day.
Yes, please. Let's make that happen.
I ain't coming.
Now that we're trying to come out of this.
Jermaine said he's not coming because of COVID, Joycelyn.
Okay. All right. We'll have a mask on, but okay. We'll have a mask on.
I'll FaceTime it.
Joycelyn, we want to say thank you for your time. We appreciate you.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
You look good. Have a safe trip back to LA. Thank you, sister.
Okay.
Love
Thank
you.
you guys. Take care.
Thank
Love
you.
you. Bye.
Love you too.
Awesome. Okay. See, we're bringing in the guests. We're talking about legacy today, how our mom has touched the lives of others and those that have lost their mothers, how they're continuing to live in their legacy as well. We're going to move to our next question. It's just, what were some of our mom's causes that were really close to her heart? We all have a cause, something that we really want to hold on to. And our mom really, I always say this, and our cousin says this too, Lanice, that our mom really fought for the underdog. Like our mom, one of her causes were she didn't like to see poverty. She didn't like to see people who were, less fortunate. She just did not. She would give. You keep hearing us say that. And one of her causes was truly to help those that were less fortunate than her, and then our family. And so she would always, want that to be her first stepping stone. I would be with mom so many times, and I would see her giving money to, those that were homeless, those that were less fortunate. She would always, say, well, now, Deshaun, don't be like that. Well, now, Deshaun, you got to look at it a different way. Well, I know that may have been the case, but just give them a chance, And so she really had a heart, a cause for bringing balance and really bringing peace among people. She really did. And so we witnessed that so many times, So one of her causes for me that I saw was that she always rooted for the underdog, even in sports. She would always ask Jermaine, now, what team are we going for?
Right.
Who are we not going for? Well, I'm going for that team. Jermaine, am I right?
Yeah, right.
Yep, she sure did. Yep.
Right. She would always say, now, who is everyone not going for? That's who she's going for. And it really was just her heart going for those that were less fortunate, that, people didn't really believe in who they were, and didn't think they can really see it that way. And so for that, I just want to honor her. Do you all see that she had any other causes that were dear to her heart?
Okay, I can go. Shout out to Lanice. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Niecy.
She commented saying, sure did. She would give the shirt off her back, which is true.
Yes. Hey, Niecy. Niecy's out of town on vacation. So thank you, Niecy, for joining us.
All right,
she couldn't make it. Yes.
My cause with mom is that she really cared for her grandchildren and her nieces and nephews. And she would take the time out on the weekend and she would pile them up in that RAV4. Her and my dad would take them to Orange County Fair, LA County Fair, Knott's Berry Farm. She would take them to the San Diego Zoo. What's the water park out there? SeaWorld. She would take them to SeaWorld. They weren't standing on Ricky D Hotel. They were standing in 5-star hotels. So she always made sure, no matter who it was, if they needed school clothes, I always checked on them to see how their grades was going. She would even go up there with me to back to school night to see what was going on in the classroom and what was, how the structure was going on. So she really cared for her grandchildren, and she looked out for her nieces and nephews just the same way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you had a friend that was not doing too good and you didn't have it, she would help them out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and it was a cause that it can make you cry. It can make you cry. And I want to add one more thing, and you guys might laugh, was her German Shepherds.
Oh, yeah.
She treated them like family. And they would eat what we would eat.
Yeah, they almost ate better than us sometimes.
And one time, y'all finna laugh. Lynn was over at the house.
I know where you're going.
And Mama was cooking a steak. So he thought it was for us. He went and got the table thing that you sit down and put your food on. He started rubbing his hands. So Mama walked by him with that pot. Joyce, where you going? Joyce, where you going? This for the dog. The dog. The dog. The dog eating better than us.
Yeah.
So
true story.
Her German Shepherds was
true story. Yes. Mom had a love for animals, and I do too. I can't. I got that just like her. Yeah, she took bereavement off. Come on, brothers.
Right.
Oh yeah. Whenever the dogs passed away, she took a whole week off.
Bereavement. Yeah, and was not playing. Yes.
Nope. Yeah. If she were to go into a law, she could probably make that law pass. Like when your pet passes away, you get time off.
And some of people are doing that. Yes, and she took it very seriously. So yeah. Oh my goodness, I love it. Well, we're gonna move into our next guest. I'm so excited about our next guest. Listen, this person just lights up our life, right? When we were talking about who we wanted to bring on to the show today, we knew that we had to have, certain, of our family members here because of who they are and what they bring, their energy, their insight, their love. And we want to bring him now into the platform. Listen, this brother, I give this brother so much dap, right? That's when he's not, vacationing all over the world. Okay. If between him and Jamar, I don't know who's the jet setter, right? This brother is
he took the
here,
cake.
there, on yachts, in the plane, Dubai. If I said, well, does he stay in LA? Can he stay focused? Well, he stayed for one moment to come on our little itty bitty show. We're going to give him a round of applause and bring into the studio our awesome, handsome, intelligent cousin, Cavell Ferguson.
Hey, what up, Cavell?
How's everybody?
What up?
How you doing, cousin?
Thank you for that intro. You know I live in LA. I don't be everywhere.
Boy,
right,
please.
Right. Follow him on all his social media platforms, everyone. You will see he is all doing great, amazing things. How you doing, cousin?
I'm really, really well. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing pretty good.
Good to have you. Good to have you.
Thank you for coming on.
I love the show. When Deshaun called me about it, I went back and binge watched all 3 shows so I can make sure I was up to date. And I really, really love the show. It's really good.
Oh, thank you.
We're just excited that you're with us. And, as you know, we're talking about legacy, of our mom and your aunt. And, we're going to get to your mom in a moment. And we're talking about, how did our mom light shine, because we don't know how she may have touched everyone. We talk about things as family members, but we don't get a chance to always talk about everything. And so Jermaine wanted to have the platform today to say, let's have others come and share their stories. How was some of their lives, created in a bigger way, or just touched by mom's presence, by her laughter, her love, by, her legacy. So, cousin, we just want to hear from you, however you want to, shine that light. We're with you today, and we're excited that you're going to share, and whatever you have to say, we're here to listen. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, so 2 things about Auntie Joyce was three things that stick out to me the most. One, she was always on the dance floor every single time. If you wanted to find Auntie Joyce, just look on the dance floor. With a glass of wine, and I love that. Now. And then 2, she never had like a hair out of place. I know I'm a little younger, but every time I saw her, she was always well put together, never a hair out of place. She always looked her best, no matter if she was like just standing outside on the porch or anything. And then the last thing was when I got into Howard, my mom was like, you have to call your Auntie Joyce and Deshaun. You have to tell them. And when I finally told her, she was so excited for me. And Deshaun, you were too. And it was like, those are the 3 things that I remember the most.
Yeah, listen, wait, let me say something about that hair out of place. Cousin, you are not missing a beat there. And it wasn't a wig, it was her hair. Right? It
was always like done so well. Like it was never, it was just, I don't know if it was like a feather or what it was. This lady is always put together.
Yes, exactly. And that really came from, if I just can add to that, mom really was, it just was about your self-image and your presence, and how you keep yourself up as a role model.
Mm-hmm.
When she was teaching, she told me this, and then I did it when I became a teacher. Mom would keep, for the girls in her classroom, she would keep fingernail polish remover. If they came into her classroom and their nails were chipped, she would call them over and they had to take all of it off. You can't walk around like that. You have to, who are you? Are you kidding me? You are a lady and you have to be real. It's just your self-value. And I did the same thing. When I started teaching at Sarah High School, when I would see, I said, no, come over here. Here's your cotton balls and your nail polish remover. You take that off. And then they knew. So if they knew, they was, oh, Miss Booker, can I take my polish off? I didn't have time. I know you're gonna talk about me, my nails. I said, yes, my mother taught me that. And so my mom, just piggybacking off of that, Cavell, she really taught, that if you're a role model, you just, you demonstrate that. And she was really, it wasn't being vain. She just really was, this is how you present yourself. You don't go outdoors with rollers in your hair and flip flop on, shoes on. You really present yourself. So when you say, no hair out of place, I mean, that was exactly her.
Every time I saw her, there was never every single time. But that's really, really important too. I mean, just being people of color now in society, like schools don't teach our kids that. They don't tell them how we have to present ourselves and look great and how we should look and be neat. I mean, of course, there are times where you don't want to get dressed, you don't want to, and we shouldn't have to because who sets the standard. But it's just so important that your mom was teaching little girls that at such an early age.
Right. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I saw it. I really saw it in her classroom, and I said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. When I teach, because you do become a role model, right. So, all of the cousins that saw, mom, and our aunts, you emulate what you see. Even if you think no one's watching, you emulate that. Just like I didn't know you thought you saw that convey. I didn't know you know that. And then she was, an educator. She was, so ecstatic, that's where you were going to do, your college education at Howard, that you were going there. I mean, and it's not just that it was going away to college, but you deciding to just allow that to be a part of your, matriculation, your
matriculation.
Thank you. Okay. Another word. Thank you. So, she was celebrating that, and she was always on the dance floor, whether it was in the living room, out in the front yard, in the garage, at any birthday party, at the receptions, just bringing that energy, bringing that energy of love and life, and, to let everyone know this is how we celebrate life. And Jamar always says that mom taught us how to really celebrate life.
Yeah.
Even
in the smallest moments of life.
Yeah.
Those are the most important times, you know what I mean? Those small times should be the biggest celebrations. Of course, we're going to have like those huge moments where, of course, we're going to celebrate. But the world beats us up so much, we have to give ourselves a pat on the back, even for the little things in life. Even if it's getting out of bed in the morning or brushing your teeth that day, give yourself a pat on the back because that's hard.
That's hard. That's hard. Listen, I'm going to go right here with our cousin. Unfortunately, he has a connector with us as well. We lost our dear Aunt Linda, right? His mother. Just tragedy. I don't know how much you want to share, but I want you to share how are you and your siblings, your sisters, and yourself and your brother continuing her legacy? What does that look like for you? How did you pull yourself up and keep going, right? Out of that tragedy, if you want to share that, we want you to use this platform. It's all yours, cousin. All yours.
Sure. I mean, I don't mind sharing. I'm okay with everything that's happened in my life. I trust in God, and I know God has a purpose. And through all the pain that I've endured, there's a purpose that comes from that. So yes, my mom was murdered 3 years ago now, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. It was a very tragic thing. It was very unpredicted. Basically, somebody was breaking into a car across the street. Her boyfriend got up to try to say something to get him to stop. And he got back in his car, got out with a gun, fired one shot through the window, and unfortunately it hit my mom. And so she's no longer with us. At first it was really, 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 really shocking for me, right? Because I'm like, why? Like, why does this have to happen? I couldn't find a reason, or nothing was making sense at the moment. But 13 years ago, we had lost my dad. So with that, I'm kind of used to like death, I guess you can say, as bad as that sounds. I think I was prepared for the moment, right? I watched my mom as my dad passed away and we planned the funeral and everything. I watched how strong she was through that entire thing. I can't imagine having kids with someone, being married to someone for so long, and then having to lay them to rest so early. My dad was 42 years old when he passed away. And so watching her through that just kind of like did something to me. But the scary part about it, I never tell people this, but I'll tell you guys now, is for some reason I always had in the back of my mind after my dad passed that something's going to happen to my mom. I knew there was a time where it was going to happen, right? Because I didn't expect my dad to die. So just from then on, it just always kind of sat with me like there's going to be a time where my mom's not going to be here anymore. And so with that, it kind of helped me prepare a little bit, I guess, to be like, all right, well, like this is life, right? This is how we're gonna have to get through this. I have an older brother and 2 younger sisters, and the reason why I get up every day and the reason why I keep my head up is because of them. I don't want them to ever feel like because our parents aren't here anymore that life is unbearable, right? Like life is good, life is great, right? You have to get up, you have to smile every day, you have to like push forward. Like our parents died early, sure, right? I get it, it happens. But what are we gonna do to kind of like move forward? Our parents have always like planned, or not necessarily planned, but they've always told us there were going to be a time where your father and I aren't here anymore, and you guys are all you have left, right? And so I really want them to know, like, no matter how hard they feel or how bad they feel that our parents aren't here anymore, we will be okay. You know, we just got to get through it, but we will always be okay. We're gonna make it through this. We just have to get through the other side. And so that helped me a lot. I also trust God. I trust that God has a plan for me, my siblings, for where we're going in life and how we're going to make it through this. Or else He wouldn't have took our parents so early from us, right? So yes, I was blessed to have my mom here for 30 years, but that's all she needed, right? That's all her time on this earth needed was to prepare me. She only needed 30 quick years. My dad only needed 20 quick years to prepare me to be the man that I am today. And so that's a blessing within itself. You know what I mean? I can say, hey, my dad got his job done and he got up out of here and I'll see him again. I'm not worried about that. And so that's really what I like lean back on when it comes to like just moving forward and finding strength and just trying to pull out. And also, I don't want to put that pain that when my parents passed away on anybody else. I know there are plenty of people out here, family and friends, who all love me and will hate for anything to happen to me. And so I get up every day because I want to live for other people and I find something to live for. I would never want anybody to be like, oh, I miss Cavell so much. Like, so, it happens. We all have to go. We all have a start and end date, and you'll be all right.
Right.
Wow. I told you the brother was, I did not say it was no joke. He was going to put, just a powerhouse, just, sturdy, just strong. Your infrastructure, from your parents, Cavell, is just solid. It's just solid. And Jamar said the same thing. That mom prepared, had said, about death,
Yeah, both our parents, they talked about death. They said one day we're not going to be here, so you're going to have to still continue to live life. We'll be in your heart, we'll be around you in spirit, but we won't be physically here, and that is hard to comprehend as a young kid. But as you get older and seeing people accomplish things, do things, just like you said, Cavell, your mom and dad were here for those years to teach you, and then afterward, they have to leave this earth, but they're still here. All of their things they taught you, you're still giving it to other people. You're still showing positive light in their name to other people, which makes it more comforting to hear, someone speak about someone else's, a death in a family. It's sad to hear, but when you speak positive about it, what they did for you and what you did with them, it's like they lived a beautiful life, and you're about to live an even better life going forward.
So,
compared to the game, like, you go to practice for so long, and while my parents were here, that was practice, right?
Yeah.
This is the game. This is how me and my siblings can show what they built. We're their legacy. We are going to continue what they started, and they don't have to be here for that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Justin Cooper, Jasmine Crone, cousin Denise, Tamia, Anthony Reynolds. They in the building as well. Going forward, what I remember about your mom and dad, besides all the love they spread, they never missed one of my football games, whether it was in Nevada or in LA. They was both there. They were supportive, and I'm not mistaken, you and your brothers and sisters were as well.
Absolutely.
Love sport. They came to my high school graduation and everything.
I remember those they were yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. Your mom, my auntie Linda, honey. You know, I can't call Cavell without crying, right? Cavell. Every time I call him, I start talking. I just tell. Am I telling the truth?
Absolutely.
I just start crying. He said, "It's okay, cousin. It's okay." You know, I talked to Auntie Linda. She kept saying how she was inspired by me, but she was always inspiring me. You know, biggest supporter. One of the biggest supporting women on this earth. She will support you no matter what. You know, I still have text messages from her. You know, I still have pictures of us. You know, I still have a voice message from her. You know, where she's telling me, "Don't be mad at me, Niecy. I didn't make it but I'm coming, Niecy. I'm coming." You know, and she came. You know, so just one of the biggest supporters ever. And I see that in your siblings. You know, cousin, that you all are still thriving and moving and carrying on their spirit. We miss them all, you know, and we're just grateful. You're right. Listen, I didn't really get the memo about, you know, they gonna leave and we gonna be okay. I didn't get that memo. I'm just saying, you and Jamar are cool, and Jermaine, I'm a little different, you know. But I'm just grateful that we are still here, and we have those foundations, right? Spiritual foundations. We have that connection with our family, with our parents, that we can still move forward. I got to get someone else in, because listen, she is also, you know, out of state. She's working. That's just what we do. We're just, you know, barrier breakers in this family, right? We're doing the thing. That's what we're doing. So listen, I want you to stay with us, Cavell, because I want to ask a question to you that we're all going to answer. But our next cousin, listen, she gives me more laughs than, I don't know, than Steve Harvey can give anybody. My cousin makes me laugh when she's not trying to make you laugh. This next person is a genius in what she does. If you need anything, you call her. She is like, "What do you need?" She's between her and her two sisters, they can get on the phone, they can text somebody, and they can call down, I think, anybody from the White House if you need them. Okay. They are connected to everybody in this field. What do you need, cousin? Who do you need, cousin? I got you. Wait, just give me a couple of days. Listen, our cousin is now, she's the one in Texas, right? She's working this COVID thing. She's a phenomenal, you know, respiratory therapist, but she's also a sweetie, and she is just a loving person. She literally is like this for her family. Like, she's the ride or die. I'm not going to say any longer anything, because I'm going to start crying, because I'm just that baby girl. I want her to come in here and share her story, and she's going to have a lot to say, I know. Let's bring her in here, Miss Kanya Lofton, our cousin. Hello, Kanya.
Hey.
Hi, guys. That got me tearing up already.
Oh.
I know. Hi, cousin. How are you, sweetie? You look good.
I'm good. Thank you for letting me comb my hair.
Cousin, listen, I just want you to know that we appreciate you taking your time. You've been, what's the word where you go and help for COVID? What you
deployed. I'm deployed. I'm in Houston, Texas right now for helping these Texans with this COVID, the Delta variant and the new Mu variant, which is very strong. Everyone be careful, wear your mask, social distance, and just kind of do whatever you could do to stay safe, because it's really, really, really bad out here. Yeah.
We so appreciate you.
Thank you.
What is the second variant called?
Mu, MU, which I think means water, but the Mu variant they're saying is worse than the COVID-19, and then we got the Delta, and then it was another one in between the Delta and the Mu. It'll come to me in a second, but it's mutating, and it's stronger. Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Cousin, we appreciate the work that you're doing. We don't take it for granted. You know that, you know, we're always holding you in prayer and covering you in the blood of Jesus. Absolutely. I know you got to go rest. She is exhausted. She again said, she's taking time out to come onto our show to share her story. I appreciate you always. And you know, you keep me laughing just all the time.
We do.
Trying to keep me laughing. Right, Cavell? Kanya is
funny.
It's just who she is. It's just how she talks, right? And it's like, Kanya, cousin. And she just keeps going, keeps saying it. You know, and we're always checking in with each other. So I just love you so much, cousin. By the way, if no one knows, I'm the oldest of all of the,
I don't know what number I fall in, but I'm up there. You are the oldest cousin. Yes.
On here right now, Jamar's the baby, right? Then
I'm
Cavell.
younger. I'm the youngest.
Cavell's
Oh my
younger.
God, Cavell's the baby here. Then Jamar, then
Uh-huh.
Jermaine, then Kanya, then me. And we have a tribe, everyone. It's a tribe. And some of them are listening. It's a lot of us now. It's not just right. So I love saying that I'm the oldest. I love saying that. They know that.
But in the same breath, you'll turn around and say you the youngest, and you don't know how. In the same breath.
I don't know how you guys are passing me up. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Cousin, listen, I know you got to go, but I just want to thank you again. Our show today is how our mom has inspired the lives of others. And we don't always know how that has been, because everyone has their individual experiences and, with her. So we wanted to invite you on to share your story. And if you just may, you can do that right now. It's your platform. And we're so glad to be here and to support you.
Yes. Okay. So you touched on, oh God, don't cry. You touched on something earlier about Joyce being a young mother. Everyone knows that I had Thomas, man, at 17 years old. And I hid him for 7 months, by the way. Wore baggy clothes, big clothes, because it was no other option for me. I'm having this baby. Didn't know how to change a diaper, nothing, didn't know how to mix formula, but I'm having this baby. So, of course, being Ferguson type, when it all came out, it spread like wildfire. I was 7 months when my parents found out, and I never talked to Auntie Joyce, but I would hear people talking, and what was said to me was she was telling everyone that I was going to be okay. So a couple months later, I went into labor. My parents found out I was pregnant on June the 6th. I had man August 16th. When I went into labor, it spread like wildfire throughout the family. And I don't think Auntie Joyce slept until I had the baby, and she knew that call from grandmama's house, 5699813, that went to Uncle Channy and Auntie Joyce's house, that, okay, yes, she had the baby. Everything is okay. I didn't see everyone right away, but when I did see Auntie Joyce, no words were said. It was just a hug that she gave me. And in that hug, it was power.
Yeah.
It was power. I felt it. And I knew I was going to be okay. I am a respiratory therapist. I never, there was no other option but to be great. And if I can pat my own self on the back,
right.
At everything that I do, patients that I don't know from a cold bowl of oatmeal, I do whatever I can in my most exhausting times of my shift, because I'm working 6 days a week, 13.5 hours a day. And I do it out of love, because I love so much. I do it because we all have one life. There's no do-overs. So if I can get out there and I can help someone, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. Raising my boys. So my oldest, Thomas Mitchell Lofton, who's named after my father, he's 32. That's the baby that I hid. And he was destined for greatness. And he is great. He is great. There was no two ways about it. And my baby boy is 22. I just felt that I would often not say a lot to Auntie Joyce. I would just look and admire her. One, because I didn't always know at what age she had you. But once I found out, and when we would, go to certain functions, I would just admire her. Like there was a certain, this big admiration that I had for her. And thinking back on how she loved on me, and she just knew that I was going to be okay. Yeah. It did something to me. And all of these years later, I still think about how people told me she did not rest until she found out that I was okay, that baby had been born, and we were okay. But again, with Auntie Joyce, okay, you had this baby at 17. Okay, now, Kanya. So my boys are 10 years apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, she gave me a pass the first time. Everybody gave me a pass, but I had to bring it together so I can, be that beacon of light. And when I hug someone in the family that needs hug or talk on the phone to someone, I want to give that same energy that I felt Auntie Joyce gave me. I don't, sometimes you don't have the words to say to people to make things okay. It's just a good hug and that positive energy.
That's right. That's awesome.
And she's inspirational. I think about her. I don't have all the time pick up the phone and call and say but I think about her. She inspired me.
Yeah.
There was no failing. That was not an option.
That was not an option. Cousin, can you also, without crying, what are your moments and your love as you honor Auntie Linda as well?
Auntie Linda, that will make me just boo-hoo.
That's why I said no.
We're in the month, I know, and I'm going to be strong. We're in the month of September, and this is the month that I talk to her the most because BJ's birthday is September 14th, which is the same day as
my grandmother.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And she called me, we would talk every morning on BJ's birthday. Every morning for whatever reason. When I was years ago, it was some years ago, man was probably about 17 or 18. Auntie Linda would call me and we would have like these private, real emotional discussions. I would lock myself in the bathroom and talk to her, cry if I need be. And those are moments that I hold dear to me. She always told, in Linda's voice, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. It's going to be okay. Yeah. You don't have to cry. It's okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So this month, there's certain, the way the wind blows, if the sun shines, if it's an overcast, it's certain things that remind me of Auntie Joyce. It's certain months that remind me of Auntie Linda.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, family, we would be remiss if we did not in this moment recognize I move in the spirit. You all know that I'm flowing. I want us to and help us each other out. I want us to honor the loved ones that we've lost in our family.
Okay? Absolutely.
I just want us to say their names. We just honor them today. We want to honor, who wants to go first? Who wants to say one of the names first?
Auntie Winky.
Yeah.
It was a major blow for me. That was like my best friend. We lived in Springdale together. I would walk around to her house with no shoes on. She would clean my ears with safety pins and give me Cheerios. So that was a big blow for our family.
Yes. Auntie
right.
Winky. And that was, I think, in 92 or 93, I think. 93? That was around 93. I remember that. Absolutely. Yeah, Mumu, we love you. We're honoring, your mom in this moment, her legacy. We want to honor, let me just say this first. For those that are watching who don't know, our whole family have like nicknames now. We got to let the people know that. Come on now. Y'all know that. Yeah. So we're going to say some nicknames, right? We may say their real name. So we're going to say some nicknames. I was getting ready to say Cavell's daddy, right? And I'm about to say his nickname, but that's who I grew up with, and that is, my Uncle Boo Boo, right? That's Kevin, but that's my uncle. And we want to honor him today. We want to say, we want to honor them. Jermaine, I know Jermaine may not want to say nothing, but that hits him hard, Jermaine, you want to say anything about your Uncle Boo Boo?
Man, me and Uncle Boo Boo, we hung out a lot. We had fun. And one quick story. One time, Cavell's older brother, he knows how to do hair. So he gave us some twisties, right? So me and Boo Boo got dressed on a Saturday, hanging out. We was hanging out at Johnny and Chi-Chi house. And he was like, come to the store with me. So we go to the store. We're in the store, and everybody looking at us like, who did your hair? Who did your hair? So we tell them everything. Then they said, you and your son look nice. He was like, that's my nephew. I don't look that old, do I?
Jermaine, you remind me of my dad so much. It's scary. Like, my mom look at you, like the way you act, the way you talk. It's just like my dad reincarnated. It's really scary.
Yeah, they all, everybody, a lot of people say we looked alike.
Yeah, they do, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was my dog. No, he was cool.
Yeah,
he was cool. He was real cool.
Yeah.
He showed a lot of support.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone.
He was one of the coolest dudes I knew.
Yeah.
Right, like Cavell, your dad was so cool. He had swag when people didn't even know it was the word swag. Am I telling the truth? I really mean that.
I'm glad y'all think so because I didn't see it.
Are you serious?
My dad was cool, but he was like a little bit cornball sometimes. All that.
Are you serious? No. Kanye, do you think so?
His pants will be starched. It's like, come on, Dad, like loosen up a little bit.
No, Uncle Boo Boo was cool. He'll just come into the room, just stroll in.
He was just
you
cool.
know.
He had this stroll. He was real cool. Cavell, you don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
You know what you're talking about. No, he was cool. He was cool. I used to watch him and your mom dance. They gave my dad a surprise party a few times, but this one, your mom and your dad were dancing, and my two friends were with me, and we were just mesmerized. Like, look at the love, look at the. And we weren't young kids, we weren't young, but I was just like, wow, look at them, really. And your dad was just cool. He was just two-stepping. You know, just
that's all he did. That's all he
did. Yeah, I always have that memory. So we want to also honor who else. I know the names. I just want you all to say some of our.
Can I say one? Can I say one? Uncle Stu.
Right.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow, Kanye!
I remember the holidays
because of the holidays.
Yes.
They were the
best.
House. I had to say that Uncle Stu. He didn't do too much. He shuffled around and tasted a little bit of this and tasted a little bit of that, and then doze off and go to sleep and wake back up and pick back up. Right.
That is true.
Yes.
Oh, Uncle Stu.
Yeah. Kanye, you are so true. That's so true. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He wasn't doing too much of nothing. It was Auntie Daisy, but he was shuffling around.
Yeah.
Uncle, you know what? One thing, when I was going away to college, Uncle Stu and Auntie Daisy threw me a going away party, and he told my mom and dad, don't worry about nothing. We doing all the cooking.
Wow.
We barbecued a feast.
Wow.
And he made his own barbecue sauce.
Oh.
Yes, Uncle Stu, he did everything.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys made it or not, but it was at their house, and it was real nice. It was on a Saturday.
I think we did. I think we came.
Nice.
Yeah, everything was that. Yeah.
He did all the cooking.
Yes. Nice. Who else are we honoring? Anyone want to say someone? Jamar?
Auntie Chi-Chi, Cynthia.
Yes.
I mean, Auntie Chi-Chi, she was like the light of any kind of event, any little one-on-one conversations you had with her. It was always love. Like, you know, whenever you say I love you, she said I love you more. And it's like, you know, it's endless possibility of life and love within her always. And any time of the day, moment, family functions, phone call, even you could see it through pictures. Like, you know, just looking at a picture of Auntie Chi-Chi, she just gave you just put a good smile on your face.
That's right.
That's what I loved about her.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Uncle Lynn. I'm
gonna go with Skinny Lenny.
Skinny
Lenny. Every time he saw Lynn, he had a beer in his hand.
Oh yeah.
No matter what time of the day it was.
And something to say, Jermaine. And something to say.
He always had something to say.
And he would talk about you right in your face.
I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I would walk into grandma's house, and Lynn would just start going off on me. And I'm like, Lynn, what are you talking about? I just got here, like, shit. And then he'd come back and like smile at me. I'm like, you play too much. Like, too old to be playing like this.
That is weird.
I always had something to say. He was checking you the whole thing. We all can share our stories. I know, right? Lynn, my goodness, you know, just the energy, and that's love. That was our love language. His love language, right? Right, his love language. Anyone
he
else?
He yelled at me for getting stung by a bee. And then I got stung right here. And he come here. And he grabbed my arm and he pulled the stinger out, just a little stinger, and you run around here acting crazy and sent me on my way.
That sound like him. Oh.
He yelled at me for getting stuck. It was my very first time. I was paranoid. He grabbed my hand, lifted my arm up. It's just a little stinger and snatched it out and sent me on my way.
Yep.
I promise. Man. True story.
I believe it, Kaya. I know. Yeah, we have so many. Lynn, we could write a book, right?
Yes.
A whole film, movie, and we should. My goodness, Lynn was just awesome. Anyone else that we're missing that we're honoring in our family that has gone on and transitioned?
Grandma Ferguson, of course.
Yes, Grandmother Ferguson. My grandmother, Lord have mercy. Daddy, I remember Daddy going to pick her up. She used to work at the convalescent home, right, not too far from Willowbrook. I remember I went with him to pick her up. Honey, she was all in that white Kanya, that white nurse, and them shoes, and them pantyhose, and that little hat. I said, girl, did you go to work? Because you look like you didn't even go to. Are we picking her up? Are we dropping her off? She was immaculate. I never forget that. Several stories, but that one I never forget. I was sitting in the back seat going, did she work? Not a hair out of place, Cavell. Nothing. She was, I mean, just immaculate. It's beautiful, you know. And got in the car and then directing Daddy how to drive on, to the house, you know. And so, yeah, I just always remember that. I said, wow, she looks like how you saw my mom. I was like, she looks beautiful. Did she do anything inside that building?
You know, she was in there running it, basically. Yeah, but still coming out looking like nothing, like nobody touched her.
Right. I was like, and of course, Granddaddy. I remember Granddaddy. I don't know if you all remember Granddaddy. Do you all remember?
I know he passed away before I was born.
Yeah, I'm too young.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had to have tomatoes with his eggs.
Yes. Daddy always tells this story of Granddaddy Ferguson saying how his family was so poor. No, our daddy said he would watch his daddy, our granddaddy, sit at the table and eat a raw onion.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, Daddy, I don't know if that's the truth, but that's what he said. He said, I watched my daddy eat that raw onion. I watched me eat that raw onion. I said, okay, Daddy, I'm gonna let you have that. I'm gonna let you have it.
Onion.
But he said his daddy would sit at the table and eat a raw onion. Like it was an apple. Like it was an apple. That's what Daddy told us that his daddy would do. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I remember him talk. Kanye, you was there. You remember. We used to get in trouble all the time. Kanye and Denise, and they would put us in different rooms. Remember that?
Oh, punishment. Punishment.
I always talk about that. You go to that room, you go to that room. Our aunties always made us go to separate rooms. I was like, I don't know what we were doing that was so terrible, but
everything.
Did we miss anyone, cousins, brothers? Did we miss anyone we want to honor? Is that
okay? One quick thing. Mumu said she worked at Fountain Garden.
Yes. Yes, Mumu. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That was it.
Thank you for that information, Mumu. Yeah.
Mumu don't miss a beat. Mumu knows Mumu is a historian.
Right.
She listened everybody to be talking about by their name.
Is she listening? Did we miss anybody? Mumu, did we miss anyone? We want to make sure we're honoring, today we're talking about legacy and how our loved ones have really touched our lives. And since we're all here, why not honor all of them, right? As we do. Cavell, we're going to get right into, as Jermaine is looking at that, how do you honor your loved one when they're gone, right? And can you just share how you honored your mom on the first year with the, I don't want to say it. I want you to say it.
Yeah, so it was really important to me that I did something, or that my sisters and I did something to keep her memory going. I didn't want her to pass away and then for us to just move on so quickly. My mom died June 6th, so her birthday September 1st. So I just wanted everybody to get together. I really enjoyed being around my family, and we always have so much fun together. And I knew that was going to be a tough time for me and my sisters, just because it happened so quickly. And the easiest way for me personally to get out of that funk is to be around you guys, because it's just, you guys are hilarious. I don't know if y'all, every last one of you guys are so funny to me. So we did a balloon release. I wanted to do the lantern release, so I bought a whole bunch of lanterns, but you can't light them in California because they're worried about fires and all this other stuff. So I didn't want anybody to go to jail or get any tickets. So what we did was I got a whole bunch of different balloons, and we all wrote something on it. And it didn't have to be just about my mom; it could be anybody who lost. And we set those up. We set them up in heaven, and we just had like a little birthday party for my mom at one of the house, and that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
It was
yeah.
fun.
It was nice. That was nice. It was nice.
So we just want to give our listeners and our viewers today, and we thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay, always let me know by putting in #replay, and then I'll respond to you as well. If you have a question, a comment, or suggestion, or just want to let us know how well this has touched you as well, you can always watch the replay and comment as well. We want to just talk about, as we begin to bring our awesome conversation today, right, of healing and hope, and just how do we revitalize ourselves within, losing our loved ones. We're talking now about how do you honor them? What are some ways that you can honor your loved one? And you heard what our cousin Cavell did. You can, you can also, dedicate an event in their memory, whatever that event may look like, whether it's a walkathon, or a birthday, right? Or just a celebration of a cause that was dear to their heart, dedicating that event, to them, and as I said just now, what is the cause that was close to your loved one's heart? If, something that they like to do, or if there was a charity that, they gave to, you can continue to honor their legacy by supporting that cause that was close to their heart. If they were, wanted to give money to particular charities or foundations, or, helping children, or rescuing, animals, whatever it is that their values were in education, or social justice, whatever it was that was close to them, you can support that. You can also, share their stories and their photos, continue to see who they are through their stories and talk about who they were, right? And, what was some of their, funny stories, as you heard our family talk about today, or posting their photos. A lot of us do that on our social media. We can also continue to keep their memories alive by planting a tree or a plant in their memory, allowing that to grow. If they've given you a plant before they transition, make certain that you keep that alive as long as you can, speak to it, give it a name, and, flourish that as well. Another way is that we can celebrate their birthday. And we can also celebrate their transition date. That doesn't have to be the sadness. It's sad, but you can turn into a joyous, memorable event for yourselves. Anyone else have any other ways that we can begin to, allow ourselves to honor, our loved ones from the platform? Anyone want to say? How can
every time, like, say for instance, if I go to the cemetery on like a birthday or a holiday, Mother's Day or whatever, I see people out there actually cooking. People got bands, they playing music, and it's like 40, 30 people.
Yeah.
So you can celebrate at the cemetery.
Yes.
On Mother's Day, Father's Day, you want to go up there on Christmas, Easter, whatever. You can actually sit down there, have a picnic and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's good. You're right.
That's
Absolutely.
We actually did that on the first year of my mom's anniversary day. We went back to the cemetery and we did a balloon release, and we took a shot of Hennessy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
I like
else?
I like the idea of like planting a tree, a plant, or even a garden in someone's name, because it gives you more an incentive to like go out there and take care of something. And as you're taking care of it, you're talking to the plants, and you're essentially talking to the spirit of the loved one you lost. Yeah. And so I love the fact that I want to do that actually. Start a little garden in the honor of a lot of loved ones who's passed away, just to have something to do in their memory. And then when I talk to people about it, I give them, you speak to your friends and family who look at your garden, and you're speaking to them in a light way of this person was this person, sharing their stories, like you said, Deshawn. So it's like, I like the idea of planting something into the ground, to the soil.
Yeah. Awesome. Cousin Tanya?
I like that because it's nurturing.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. And I'm a nurturer. I really am. So.
You are a crybaby cousin, crybaby, but I love me and you both.
I am. Yeah.
So
I love hard.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good thing, right? That we need more of that. We need more of that in the world, and we can start in our families and then in our communities. I just want us to just say one thing before we leave. If we all can just give, what's a lesson that you've learned? And Cavell spoke to this earlier about what his parents taught him, but what's a lesson that all of you have learned? No matter what it is, again, it's all our own energy and vibrations that you had to really realize after losing the loved ones in our lives. What was a lesson for you? You know, anything? What did you learn from losing one of our loved ones that we talked about today? I'll go first. I just learned that life is for the living, but I also learned I can mourn at my own pace. I really want to say that because a lot of times people just, some people want you to respond the way they think you should respond or according to their time. And the lesson that I've learned is that mourning is okay, but don't fall into that deep depression where you believe you're hopeless. That's my lesson.
Like
Anyone
that.
else?
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
My lesson that I've learned, and I practice it daily. I try to be slow to anger and quick to forgive. I have over the years forgiven people that I never thought that I would be able to forgive. Off subject, but real quick, the people that hurt me when I was 23 years ago, I had to release that hate and anger, and I gave it to God. So I'm practicing that every single day. I have a prayer cloth, excuse me, a prayer cloth at the foot of my bed. I'm in a hotel right now. That's where I'm living for the next few months. And I get on my prayer cloth every night or every morning before or after work, and I pray. And I say, I have no enemies. Anyone that considers me an enemy, Lord, let them be my footstool. So I am slow to anger and quick to forgive. And that is a process, and it's a task that is not ever easily done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I practice it daily. So that's just what I have taken out of,
That's That's good, cousin. Good stuff. Love it. Thank you. Next.
One of the true lessons that I was taught is that you have to live in the moment, like right now. If you see something and you want it, you better grab it because you might not be here tomorrow to get it, or somebody else is going to grab it before you even get to it. So always like live in the moment, be present, and go for what you want. If you want something, go for it. You can have it. It's yours. It's already yours. You have to put the work into it to get it. So that's one of the lessons that, mom has taught me is that like, just go for it. Stop. Don't be waiting. Don't be thinking about it. Just go for it. Get it. It's yours. It's already yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamar. I love that.
For me, the biggest lesson that I've learned was tough times don't last always. When I lost my dad, I thought I would never be able to lose my mom. Like I told you guys earlier, I used to always think, I know something, my mom has got to go sometime, right? I used to tell people, like, I don't know what I would do without her. I don't know what I would do without her. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And, I'm doing it. I'm here and I'm good and we're all good. So I've learned that you just got to get through it. And it sucks now, but once you get through it, you'll be fine. You'll be okay.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you.
A true lesson that my mom taught me was to respect women. Because as I was growing up in junior high and high school, men always think they players, so they have more than one girlfriend. You end up getting busted. That's all she told me, boy. You need to just stick with one woman. And as I got older, it was true because I got tired of getting caught. And it's embarrassing because what it is you gotta lie and lie again and remember that lie. And you gotta keep lying. Where was you at last night? Here. Then they come back and ask you another day. You can't remember where you was at. So she taught me how to respect women, and to this day, I'm happily married with one woman, true love of my life, Shannon Ferguson.
Yeah.
Awesome. My mom taught me how to respect women, and we all should respect women. We all should.
That's
respect, right. Well, respect everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that. Listen, I love these lessons. We're getting ready to end it. We are closing. I want to thank our guests. My brothers and I appreciate your time. We don't take anything for granted. We really talk about, the vision of this platform. Like we really have meetings, right, brothers? We really talk about it. We get a program script. We're really sincere about what God is having us to do. So we don't take your time. We don't take any of that for granted. We know that it's Saturday and things are happening in your world and your life every day, but we just want to say thank you. We want to thank those that showed up, that are watching, that are listening and participating. We don't take you for granted. Thank you so much for your support. Because, honey, listen, when we hit this big now, we're going to look at the people now that came and, was supporting them. And wait a second, because we going somewhere with this. And I am sitting here now thinking of things that I want the family to do, right? As an extension of this. My head is always spinning, with those ideas. But I just want to thank you all for coming and allowing our time to be your time today. And always in closing, I always want to give those that are watching a reflection, a self-reflection. And I want you to think about how can you continue to the legacy of your loved ones, right? How can you continue their life, their laughter, and their love of your loved ones that you've lost? And hopefully something that we've said today with so many good juicy nuggets today, right? So many good, diamonds for your destiny today, and offerings from all of us that we're giving, that this will help someone, because it is a journey. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. It's always happening, right? It's an adjustment, yes, but it's still something that we're always, having to, how do I say this? Redirect ourselves and refocus. And sometimes our days are better than others, right? And so we just want to say thank you, all of you, for coming on board with us today and allowing this platform to be your platform. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next. Well, before I say that date, I always like my brothers to say anything, and I open it up to the panel to say any closing remarks as we close. So I'm saying thank you, God bless you, and live your life magnified always. Jermaine, Jamar, your closing remarks?
We got another comment. First of all, shout out to Gwendolyn White. She said the show is awesome.
Oh, thank you, Gwendolyn.
I would like to thank all the listeners, and I want to thank Kanya and Cavell for coming on. I love you guys. Thank you so much. That was some good input. What you guys talked about, people can take that, help somebody else with it. But I appreciate you. Stay focused, stay healthy. Kanya, I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
I love what you're doing, helping people. So whoever's listening and everything, please come back on the next show. Share it with your friends and your family. Share it with your friends. This is a good topic. Good topic.
Mm-hmm. Yes, today was a great show. I'm glad to have my family on here, my cousins. You guys are beautiful, and your stories are even better.
Right.
Just thank you so much. Even Joycelyn, thank you for her story coming on here.
Yes.
Like I said, this was a beautiful show. I enjoyed it, and it really makes me feel good to see all of us come together as a family and speak greatly about loved ones and what they taught us, because we don't always hear that in society. So I'm glad that we have this platform for our family and for our friends as well. Thank you.
Sharice sends us love.
Oh, hi, cousin. Oh, my goodness.
Sharice.
Everybody's in the building. We love it. We love it. Cavell, any parting words? And then Kanya?
The only thing I would say is I really want you guys to realize how good of a show this is. And I don't know if you guys know that, but it's so important that we as colored people talk about this type of stuff, because it happens to us so much where we lose loved ones. And I think it's really, really important just to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we stuff down so deep that we're doing ourselves a disservice, right? Like, it's so important to just like have somewhere to talk about it or get this out. So super, super proud of you guys. I'm so happy that you guys are doing this. It's an amazing show, and I really want you guys to know that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kanya, your closing remarks for today?
I'm just honored to be here, honored to share something that I've always felt, that I've always felt in my heart, but never talked about, never spoke about, to share it with you guys and all the listeners.
Thank you.
We're just delighted. And again, thank you to all that's listening and watching. We just want you all to be safe out there. Jermaine, Listen, if I don't tell you all to wear your mask, Jermaine's gonna get me. He has his whole little closing. What's the 3 things, Jermaine? What do you always say before I close us out? Wear your mask, do your 6 feet. He does his fingers just like this. He does his fingers just like this. So I'm gonna let him say it. Jermaine, what do you? Am I right, Jamar? Jermaine, what do you say? That's right.
Stay safe and healthy. Wear your mask. Social distance.
So that's right. That's right.
Because it's not the variant. This stuff is serious.
Yes.
So you got to take it serious.
Yeah.
That's what he
always got my booster.
Oh, okay.
I got a booster.
Good.
Yeah, so.
Well, listen, I love you all. Thank you for staying with us. We don't have our closing out music because I had some challenges with our videos, but we are going to go ahead and I'm going to release everyone. And we have our closing photo of our mom. So again, just thank you.